McAllen, Texas.
This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily asset. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this motel to apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee.
Y no se preocupe, nosotros hablamos español. Go ahead and go to studiosonfourth.com, check out the floor plans that we have available, and submit your information. And just a friendly reminder, we have everything included: sewer, water, trash, electric, utilities, even fiber, high-speed internet. Submit your info, and we'll get back to you. Welcome home. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Happy Thursday.
Halloween. I see people are really torn between Halloween, or maybe they don't do the Halloween thing. So I see a lot of invitations to flannel festivals or autumn harvest festivals. So whatever you celebrate, I'm sure it's not, evil, or I'm sure it's just a fun time. So whatever you do celebrate, I'm sure you're going to have a great time today with the family. So take time to do that.
Yeah, lots of, I went to my daughter's Halloween parade at school today, and there's lots of, surprisingly, there's a lot of Trump costumes. With like the ear, the shot ear.
Oh
my!
my
Oh man, these parents are bold, man.
Only in Utah, man.
Only in Utah.
Wow.
Funny.
Wild. Yeah, we are, we did trunk or treat, which if anybody doesn't understand what trunk or treat is, that is, our church likes to do, it's a culture thing, but it's just not in our church. A lot of people do this. A lot of groups do this. It's where you bring in everybody into a parking lot, and the people that come, and you turn your car around and you open your trunk, and then that's where you distribute candy, and the kids come around in like a parade and they walk through, and it's a lot of fun. It's more predictable that way. You're not guessing what kind of candy you're getting.
I like that.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. If you're tuning in from YouTube or the podcast or Facebook, X, Instagram, let us know. Send us a comment, send us a message. You can always email us, info@motels2apartments.com. Today we have a really awesome presentation we wanted to share with everyone. It's all about how you need to be different. You've got to have a different type of team. We did talk about this a little bit before, but today we're going to go a little bit deeper into it. And it's going to be kind of an open conversation Jacob and I had. We did this last week with Keshev, and it was fun. I actually really enjoyed it. There's a lot of just a lot of knowledge being shared, and I just think it feels a little more natural. And as we go further and further into the business model, we're going to learn more and more things. So we always have to revisit. But all right, without further ado, we're going to jump in. Please share your thoughts. Share with us where you're tuning in from, what you do. If you want to work with us, or you have a deal that you want us to look at, we are open to discussion. We are going to cover some project updates, and I'll start us out here real quick. Studios on 4th. This is the McAllen property. McAllen, Texas property is 29 units. We are currently working on a refinance, and it's going smoothly. Taking a little bit of time, but we're just about there. I believe there's a BPO that needs to happen before carried out, or maybe not. I know Jacob's kind of leading the way on that one. And yeah, that one's just about done or at least it's about refied. And then Viva Studios, the Brownsville property, we are working patiently with that city. We even have a really beefed up partner or construction partner, commercial general contractor and builder. And they are also having some struggles getting to the city. And the city is just being very, very careful, very cautious on how our plans appear, what it is we want to do and carry out. And they're just ensuring that, the space is exactly what it needs to be for the benefit and safety of the residents, which, everything we've done thus far has been that way. We have licensed architecture. Architects rather, we have licensed engineers. Everyone has been vetted and plans submitted. So we'll hopefully hear back. They said 10 to 15 days just this morning. I hope it's not 10 to 15 more days, but we will see. That's the thing, guys, if you're watching this with these conversions, they can really be, and factor this in your pro forma. They can really drag out, and just make sure you plan for the worst. Do your best to make everything happen without a hitch, but plan for the worst. So we're not at the worst, but it's definitely dragging a little bit. All right, we're going to jump into this. This is something that Jacob and I have been battling a little bit, and we're not battling each other. Although if we did, Jacob would probably win that battle. Jacob's probably a good jouster. I don't know if you've seen a knight. Heath Ledger. It's like one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Knight's Tale. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah.
I bet you'd be like that. I bet you'd be like Heath, man. Just a killer jouster.
Yeah. Great movie.
Good movie. This is something that we don't necessarily see in the marketplace. And if you are going to jump into the conversion world and you want to offer something like what we're offering, which our name is Motel to Apartment Conversions. So right off the bat, if you've never heard of us, you know exactly what we're doing. And you might think that we're building apartment complexes out of motels. What we are doing is building an environment of apartment style living in a hotel or motel. So there is a difference. We are no longer looking to rezone and change the total use of the building. It's going to still remain as a hospitality asset. And I know there's varying rules and I should say bylaws depending on the municipality you're working with, but that's where we're headed. So we know the world that we're in, and we know that it doesn't really have unique guest accommodations. And I think that's something that it offers a huge gap in the marketplace. So the way we're standing out and being different in our extended stay conversion management is we're offering long-term comfort, personalized services, and flexible spaces. And Jacob, maybe you want to kind of talk to those 3 points.
Yeah, and the way the market is trending right now, we can go all into the benefits of the hybrid model as opposed to the apartment leasing model. But for the guests, if we're really focusing in on the guests, what do they want? They want these 3 things, right? Long-term comfort, create a home-like environment for extended stays. I think that's super important. I think about the last time you went to an extended stay hotel. An extended stay hotel feels like a hotel. I mean, there's really no way around it. It's so hard to get an extended stay to just feel like a home. I don't know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you walk into an extended stay hotel, it feels like a hotel. We're trying to create an environment where you walk into a building that we convert, and it feels like a home. It feels like a community. When you walk into an Airbnb, so really we're that hybrid between an apartment, extended stay, and Airbnb. we want to give people more services that services like they would get at a nice hotel, a nice resort, but have it be somewhere that is suitable for them to live long term and live in a community that they really like. And most importantly, we want to make it as convenient as possible for them. And so we want them to be able to move in a day if they want to and stay there for a year. Or we want them to move in and stay for a couple of weeks. We want to cater to all the guest needs. And so when you think about what a flexible stay is, what a hybrid apartment/extended stay is, it's really just, like you said, Andrew, filling a gap in the market where, why can't I just find a nice place to live that I can live at on my terms, where I can rent as long as I want, I can get into a really nice place and have some good services. That's what we're providing. So we've gotten some good feedback so far, and we're just going to continue to enhance our offerings.
Love that. Yeah, the flexible terms are kind of hard to find as well in the hospitality space. You can go to an extended stay, and as you were mentioning, Jacob, first of all, it doesn't even feel like a place that you really can live long term. And second of all, they're not built for long-term lease agreements. They're not built for, hey, I want to be here for 4 or 5 months. It almost feels like they're always pushing you out as fast as you can, or as fast as they can. And for them, for a product to be adaptable and allow them to stay a week, a day, a month, a year, there are more and more assets out there providing it, but I don't think anybody's really nailed and targeted the perfect or premium guest experience. So I'm with you there.
Yeah, nobody wants to live in a place for 3 months or 6 months and live like and feel like they're living at a hotel. Nobody really wants to feel like they're living at a hotel. It's fun to visit a hotel. It's great. You can, but living at a hotel for 3 months or 6 months, it's just not a comfortable feeling. And so long-term comfort, that first bullet point, I think is really important.
Big time. Yeah, no, there's a lot of challenges when you are building a group or excuse me, you're building a business post conversion that accommodates long and short term. And operationally, it could be an absolute nightmare. Let's talk about a hotel real quick. So at a hotel, if you have a Motel 6 or Studio 6 or a Holiday Inn, Choice, Wyndham, whatever product it is, you're for sure going to have chemicals. You may have a chemical vendor, like detergents or soaps. You will have a towel vendor, right? You'll go through lots of towels. People love to steal towels. It's like the souvenir of staying at a hotel. Not really, but you have a set of inventory in the hotel world that you have to manage. And operationally, it's just a few items, and you just got to understand your numbers. In a hybrid model, it's a little bit different because now you have furnishings, linens, along with longer term or more wear and tear on amenities, because these are almost like apartment dwellers, if you can imagine it. People at a hotel, they don't really they don't wear on the treadmill too hard. They don't wear on the lobby too hard or the TV too hard, right? But now you're providing a 65-inch screen TV. You'll probably lose that remote, or the TV gets busted more often. And you just kind of have to be aware, what type of supplies and what type of guest turnover you can expect. If someone's living there long term, chances are you're going to have either more durable assets inside, more durable supplies, more durable FF&E, and if it's not, you're going to be changing it more often. Whereas I think in a hotel, and strike me down if I'm wrong saying this, I think in a hotel you can have a little bit cheaper quality stuff because people are not so harsh on the merchandise. Maintenance scheduling is something that comes with the territory. This is something that a lot of hoteliers are not privy to. If you have a guest who complains about something being broken, that you just move them to a new unit. You're most likely not 100% full. But in a setting where it's hybrid, if you have a guest complaining about something broken, you can't just move them, right? Because you have a higher occupancy. There's probably no space to move them to. So you have to have a maintenance team. You have to have anticipate that these things will happen. We're actually experiencing this with multiple properties that we have right now. So this is something that comes with the territory in the hybrid model, being ready with a maintenance group, a maintenance team, and anticipating some of the issues that you'll see that don't really exist, or they're different problems in the hotel world. Staff cross training is so great. I love cross training because you have, for example, right now we have 2 people named Giselle and Thomas, and they're excellent. We love these guys. They are on top of their work at one business or at one conversion that we have, and we've decided to bring them in to the McAllen property and train some newer on-site managers. And they've been just an absolute blessing because they already know how to run the inventory, the maintenance, the cleaning. They know how to do all this. So they were able to train our 2 on-site managers in McAllen. And then the cost control, optimizing resources for extended occupancy periods. You are able, because you can predict the length of stay, which on average across markets, extended stay averages are around 60 plus days. You can actually invest in durable product. You can invest in better systems. You can invest in better standard operating procedures so that you can optimize your cost and you can control it even better. So it does take a little bit of time. It is a different model. It's not being a hotelier. It's not being an apartment complex manager either. It is the in between.
Yeah, well said.
Hybrid management advantages: tech integration, flexible staffing, and specialized training. So we think this is really cool because right now you can there's a few groups out there that are doing this, but not many. And I think this is where we can kind of come in and fill in that gap. But there's a lot of really neat tech integration that can be added to hybrid models that solve a ton of problems. Here's an example. With hotels, you have key cards, right? And you have a front desk manager. And when you enter the hotel for either a reservation or a walk-in, you take the key card that you're assigned by a human and you take it to your room. Whether it's RFID or if it's a mag strip, you are able to unlock the door and enter. Unfortunately, that requires a lot of coordination and humans. We love humans, but there's advantages to investing into tech that will eliminate bottlenecks like that. So one way that we've seen and that we've been able to do so is adding keypad door handles to the actual units so that there is no need for handing over a key card. Also, just automated messaging. And when you're talking to a guest who really doesn't need to talk to anybody to get in, most of the time they actually love that. They don't really want to be bothered. They don't want to have to talk to a ton of people. And they got a text or they got an email with their code to enter the premises. So technology is going to just get better and better and better. A lot of PMS systems out there. A lot of PMS systems don't even exist for hybrid, by the way. So there's a lot of Frankenstein software to help operators run hotel and apartment style hybrid assets. Flexible staffing is another advantage. You can adapt the team size to occupancy fluctuations. If you have a full house, imagine this: you have a full house, everybody's in, 98% occupied with long-termers paying top dollar. And I could tell you right now, Waterwalk, for example, which is by Wyndham, just sold to Wyndham. They do this very well. They're a very good company to look at. That staffing is not it's not really big, even though they have 200 plus units. The staffing can actually shrink and reduce, and you can set up staffing that's more flexible. You can do temporary contracts. You can have seasonal contracts. There's a lot of different ways to optimize your cost savings, especially in the staffing. And specialized training. This is a no-brainer. Sorry, hoteliers that believe that a lot of the same training that goes into maintaining and managing a hotel is the same for hybrid. It's not. There's a lot of differences when it comes to managing a hybrid model. Here's one. For example, when people move in and they're going to be there for maybe 8 months or to a year, and they want to move in their own furniture, what does your staff do when they want to move in a massive couch and they're hauling it through the lobby, right? Do you have a freight elevator? Do you have a setup time? Do you have a standard operating procedure that says, hey, all move-ins happen on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so pick the day you want because we will have staff here that can help you move in? Do you have waiver or indemnification waivers or liability waivers when people move in their own stuff and you're helping out? So there's a lot of different skills, operating procedures that come in the hybrid management model and that require specialized training. Awesome. Jacob, I'm not sure if you wanted to share anything on this slide or you had thoughts about it or some of the advantages of those three.
Yeah, I think especially technology integration, this is something where, and I'll just give you like a quick example. If you need to stay at a place for a month and an Airbnb is not really feasible, it's going to cost you a fortune. You don't really want to go to extended stay hotel. And then you come onto one of our properties. We actually have, and this is super simple, but we have a walkthrough where you can actually walk through the apartment as the converted apartment, just like a normal apartment complex, right? What is it called? What's the walkthrough called? It's called the
virtual
Matterport.
tour.
The virtual tour, Matterport. It would be, if you're going to live somewhere a month, wouldn't it be nice to get a virtual tour? And so something as simple as that, where you're bringing in an apartment feature, but into an extended stay, essentially. Even something as simple as that. And so we work with hospitality guys all the time, and there are things that apartment owners do that hospitality people just aren't. They're just not used to. And so coming in as a hospitality guy and saying, "Oh my gosh, like this guy stay here a month and you don't have to clean his room every day." I said, "No, it's his room. He cleans his room." And it's amazing how all of the costs that you can cut out just by switching the management model so that it is a hybrid. And so again, I think we've said this multiple times, but we really are in that sweet spot where we can charge premium rents compared to an Airbnb or staying in an extended stay for a long period of time. And we can also cut down on a lot of the operational costs that a normal hotel would offer.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we even have a friend, his name is Steve, who's very good at this, who's reduced operating expenses down to the 30% range. And for a hotelier, just so you know, that's wild. That's almost unfathomable and unheard of.
Yeah.
But we've seen the
impossible. Yeah,
almost impossible.
Yeah, the cost of goods alone of the labor costs and cleaning alone and all new supplies and washing. There's just so much cost that goes into running a hotel. So an extended stay is better cost ratio, and then a hybrid apartment extended stay even better.
Oh yeah. Well, awesome. Some of the ways that we are implementing some of that hybrid excellence is we first look at the current model. We look at the gaps that are currently there, and that's what we've done across the board. You go to any extended stay hotel, you immediately think, well, why don't they have a place to store goods. People want to live here. It's extended, right? It's an extended stay. Well, don't they want to store all their items? Is that another way that you could charge a premium? You have to find ways to fill the gap, especially not just in the offering to the guests, but also management. How do guests want to be managed in an extended stay setting? Once you identify all these, then really this is just a brainstorm session with you and your team after entering an extended stay building, or after doing some research. If you're going to go through a conversion, you're actually going to convert an extended stay hotel into an extended stay apartment style hotel. You can create a tailored plan. Hey, this is all the problems of this building. This is the problems of management. We're going to go in, we're going to either buy this or we're going to go buy a different property. But here's what we'd like for our guests. Obviously, having some intel and some market research of knowing what guests really want is important. But we have that. We know what guests want, especially those who need flexibility when they want to stay. Train and adapt. This is something that happened really easily for us when we bought the Brownsville property. We were able to adopt two of the on-site staff members, Gisela and Thomas, and they were very adaptable. They were very trainable, very coachable, and it's going to take that. If you were to acquire a building, if you bought an extended stay, or you bought a hotel that you're going to convert, a lot of times those staff members know all the ins and outs of the building, especially if they've been there for a while. So being able to refine processes and see who's coachable and who's willing to work with you, most will be. That's going to be a great benefit. So you're not going in it totally in the dark. And it's not a total 180. It's not a total 180 change from managing a hotel, but there's some major and key differences. And then just measuring success. You got to track guest satisfaction with CSAT surveys, customer satisfaction surveys, ensuring that people are happy, looking at your reviews, asking for reviews, and just talking to the guests, having your team, your on-site team, talk to the guests. Hey, what do you like? What do you wish was better? Building a relationship and having them just be totally transparent. And then just seeing what your stats look like on costs. You could be great at building an environment that's 5-star and everybody loves your hybrid model. Everybody loves, living at your newly converted hotel, but you could be also blowing a ton of money. You could be overpaying for towels, overpaying for furniture, overpaying for replacements for television, so on and so forth. So you have to measure everything. If it's not, then you're not going to be totally sure what your NP&L is going to look like. Tax time is going to be awkward, and when it's time to sell, it's going to be kind of tough. Awesome. Well, folks, if you joined us, and I see we have quite a few people watching live, please leave a comment, leave a post, leave a question. If you ever want to get one-on-one with us and you want to chat with us on the phone or set up a Teams call or a Zoom call, and you have a hotel that you're thinking about converting into an apartment style living, or you're going to go all the way, you're just going to convert it to apartments. We've done both. We're in the game and we'd love to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to chat with anybody. Yeah, please reach out. Jacob at motels2apartments.com, Andrew at motels2apartments.com, or info@motels2apartments.com. If you're an investor, operator, or even just interested in learning about the model, would love to connect with you and see how we can help each other.
Awesome. Everybody enjoy your Halloween. Get not too much candy, limit yourself. Get 3 pieces,
Yeah.
Especially the kiddos. One thing that we did is we actually purchased their bag of candy. So the two choices was trampoline park or $10. So those were their options. Eating candy wasn't one, and we let them eat awesome. 1 or 2. So you can't totally.
So you bribed them to not eat candy. I love that.
we bribed them. I guess that's the official term, right? Bribery.
Yeah, man, we have to do that. We have to do that better with Henry. Last night we had a trunk or treat with our church, and for dinner, Henry had Skittles and cookies. That was his dinner. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst. I am the worst dad.
high nutrition there. Did he go to sleep easy or no?
He fell asleep. Yeah, kid fell asleep, which is probably a reflection on a bad reflection on me that he could just eat all that sugar and go right to bed. Shows that he's just immune to it.
It's a sugar crash, actually. I don't know if it's sleep. But...
Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, we will see you here next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Thanks.
Welcome to your new home in McAllen, Texas.
This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily asset. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this motel to apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee.
Y no se preocupe, nosotros hablamos español. Go ahead and go to studiosonfourth.com, check out the floor plans that we have available, and submit your information. And just a friendly reminder, we have everything included: sewer, water, trash, electric, utilities, even fiber high-speed internet. Submit your info and we'll get back to you. Welcome home.